Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm in Toms River and I'm actually at the Ocean County Mall because my veteran ID card is cracked and I'd like to preserve this. I was carrying it in my wallet, but I'm probably not going to do that again. So here are the Ocean County freeholders who issued me the veterans card. I'm going to get a replacement, and then we're going to do the long-awaited van tour. So thanks for checking in, and let's go get this card. When I come back out, I'll have a new one, and then we'll do the van tour. All set. I got it at this building behind me, the Ocean County Board of Commissioners County Connection. Not exactly sure what they do, but I got my new card right here. It's not broken. Hey guys, this is it. Finally, the van tour. Let's get to it. All right, truth be known, I started doing this tour and I didn't realize that the other camera over there was off, and that has my microphone attachment. So up at the top, we have our light bulbs, or as we say as electricians, these are lamps. The next row, I have this dust bowl, and of course my hole saw for the recess lights. I seem to do a lot of those. Always want to make sure these are closed, so when you take a sharp turn, or if you have to take a sharp turn, they don't open up and empty out. Some 2-gang old work boxes, including these Arlington Smart boxes, which are really nice, which come with the screws in the box, and it's obviously listed for that purpose. That makes it real nice if you got a stud and you want to put a box on that stud for whatever mounting reasons. All right, so sometimes you get a little bit of that resistance. But here I just got my 4-inch round pancake boxes, regular 3-inch pancake boxes, and these wall mount boxes, which are really nice around vanity lights that have a small canopy. Then we have a couple fan boxes here, and some old work single gang boxes, 2-gang boxes. Down below, there's not much going on here except for a couple toggle bolts, some crimps. This is where I keep all my unistrut stuff. I seem to be using it more and more often, so I have a bunch of stuff in stock. This is pretty heavy right here. And then down here I have all my batteries for my USB lights, a couple small tie wraps, some Mike Holt stickers, of course. Who doesn't have those on the truck? Then over here, we'll do the back in a moment, but on this side, this was from my old van. This is the only thing I kept from the old van. And I pretty much have whatever back here. Obviously fish tapes. This is the nylon one. I like using this a lot. This is my caulking gun for in the springtime. When it starts getting warm out, I can use that again. Kind of difficult to use it outside in the wintertime. On the top shelf, I got wire nuts and some other stuff. You can see how I wired up each of these lights. This is a 120 volt strip. And I got 4 of these LED 2-lamp bulbs attached to the ceiling of the van. They are, of course, controlled by the Milwaukee Power Pack here with 4 12-amp hour lithium forged batteries. It's got the indicator light right there in red, let you know how much battery power is left. Of course, I have some tools. This is my latest from Vito. Pretty cool. I haven't even used that on the job just yet. I keep all my lamps, my headlamps right here. Got a couple of DeWalt batteries. I was originally putting these drills where they're supposed to go in here, except every time I would stop, they would pull forward and they'd fall out. So this is kind of useful. I might redo this setup. I have the Romex staple gun, and then I have the small profile stapler. I have, obviously, this M12 speaker, this new M12 light. We have mounting. We have these kneeling pads right here. I just happen to have 4 of them. A lot of times they use 2, and I'll use them on the ground if it's wet so I don't get wet. Behind here, obviously, I keep a 4-foot ladder on the truck. We have circuit breakers. I have specialty tools for service equipment. The M12 bandsaw. I have the Greenlee PVC heater. I always keep number 6 THHN on the truck. I have some weatherproof boxes. We have the the Penetrox right here. I have a replacement motor for an attic fan, garbage bags, connectors for non-metallic seal tight. So that's on this side. As you can see, it's I want to say it's pretty neat compared to some other guys' trucks, but then you get some other guys' trucks that are even nicer than that. So it is what it is. Okay, over here I have these microfiber towels. I'm not sure. I usually just leave them right there, and it's not a problem. Inside of this one, I keep my circular saw and a framing square here, or a speed square they call it maybe. Down below, in this one for easy access, I keep all my drop cloths. Down below, obviously you see I keep all my THHN. I got some long drill bits in there and some long fish rods. And I keep all my wire down below over here. I usually keep 14.2, 12.2, maybe some 14.3. Obviously a roll of MC cables, always number 12.2 for MC. So you have that accessible for using it where it needs to be used. The M18 battery. I got wood screws. I got the small profile organizers here. And obviously you can see what's in them. I have a bunch of those too. All right. Sheet metal batteries. I'm not sure what this is. 1/2-inch PVC, which I very rarely use. Also, core screws, 632 or 832. That's what's in there. This is where I keep most of my Lutron Caseta stuff. I just finished a job in Westfield not too long ago and did a bunch of Caseta stuff. That's why it needs to be replenished. This is where I keep my 4-inch square cover plates. Alrighty. Miscellaneous stuff, I guess. Down below, the next one, we have 4-inch square boxes, some more pancake boxes, some more fan boxes, a utility box. I love these new Diablo hole saws. These things are fantastic. And if I wasn't carrying the camera in the one hand, I would show you how fantastic they are. But basically what you have is a quick release. Is it a magnet? What's happening there? What you have is a quick release for the hole saw. In fact, I'm going to do that right now real quick. All right, so this is the hole saw that I was just talking about. You just pull this out, it comes right out. It wasn't supposed to come out that easy, but it did. It just snaps in there. Let me see if I can do it. Of course, it always happens when the camera's on. So that just locks in there like that. Then this goes right in. This piece is built into the hole saw. This black piece, this collar, it just locks into place. So when you're done, you pull it back out. You move on to the next size. This is fantastic. And of course, Diablo makes a great hole saw. This is really good. Now this size is specific for 2-inch PVC male adapter. So when I'm doing services and I'm going from the outside of the house to the inside of the house, we want to make it a little bit bigger than it needs to be, but not too much. This is the perfect size right here. And I don't have the tape measure with me, but this is the perfect size for the 2-inch male adapter. Okay, see how that fits right in there? Okay, perfect. There's a little bit of space right there, which is what we want. But we want to plug that gap up after we make the hole so you don't get water or air into the conditioned space. That's the new Diablo hole saw. I'm a big fan. Okay, so the next drawer is down. Obviously the boxes. Just went over that. The hole saw. All right, so now we're down to here where I keep smaller hole saws, miscellaneous arbor bits, some channel locks, some tools that I don't often use. And then there's actually like nothing in there. There's just tie wire right there, which I'm not sure what the hell I'm going to do with that. The next row, we have charging equipment. Okay, so I have my laser level in here, and I have a bunch of these chargers and lights. And this is actually a chest mount for the GoPro, which I could use with the DJI. And I have a bunch of these chargers here. The next row down, I have my Brother P-Touch labeler. And then I have some testing equipment, and I have all this stuff for making videos, all these different little mounts. A lot of GoPro stuff in there. This is a filler tape for the Brother P-Touch. I have the Fluke plug-in tester, which is an audible, which is really nice. I have the Klein finder, which works sometimes. It's okay. Let me know what you think in the comments. And then this is a non-contact voltage tester, which is nice. And I think this works in coordination with one of these Flukes. I don't know. I don't use it too often. I'm pretty sure I picked it up at a trade show. All right. Again, very important that we close this up so it doesn't fly out. All right, so this is where I keep all my 2-inch PVC stuff. It's not a lot. But the only time I use 2-inch PVC is when I'm doing services. And so if I need an extra 2-inch male adapter for whatever reason, or a 2-inch offset male adapter, coupling, lock nuts, right? Straps, not a ton of stuff. I usually order this stuff when I'm doing the service, so I'm not short-handed. This is everything for 1.25 inch, which we use for a lot of Generac generator stuff uses 1.25 inch, especially the Flex. So I have a bunch of 1.25 inch here. Also 1.25 inch is good for the 100 amp services. Below here, I just keep metal covers and some overflow, obviously, from the 1.25 inch. In here, we also have a 4-inch square box drawer over there as well. All right, then down below here, I keep my Sawzall, not the Sawzall, I keep the hacksaw, the M18's hacksaw. I have a little sander, a little M12 sander, and of course the Flex drill, which I'm a big fan of. All right, here I keep my SDS Plus and the bits. I'm still looking for a spot to have my SDS Max on here because I need that to drive the ground rods and for larger applications like drilling through concrete. Next row over is I keep a tray of tools when I'm changing out receptacles and that sort of thing, and it's on the top right here. It's this Milwaukee organizer. Up on top here, I keep all my plates, vinyl single gang block, vinyl single gang toggle cup switch, and then of course our duplex receptacle plate is here. Behind here I have some spare GFCIs. You never have enough GFCIs. I feel like I use those all the time. Some specialty receptacles, including single receptacles. Some more GFCIs. These are ivory color, or is that light almond? Light almond. Some specialty plates, occupancy sensors, and some odd plates like these blanks. And then of course you got your 2-gang plates over here. 3 gangs are down there too. That's what goes on in that drawer. This drawer, it closes, but a little bit of a fight. The next drawer down, and I got to get some labels on here. I just memorize where the stuff is. Here's all my switches. All right, these are all my switches. We got regular toggle single pole switches. Then of course, the more popular decorator style. This is really all I put in kitchens and bathrooms. I think it looks nicer. Just did a whole house with the decor style receptacles. So I try to keep everything I need in here. A couple dimmers, occupancy sensors, I think this is, or this is dimmer 2-pack here. Specialty switches like these tandems. Again, a lot of times I just keep the bare minimum for what I need, and then once I do a job, I can make a material list and pick it up and bring it with me if I know I'm going to be using it. These are all my receptacles, GFCIs, outdoor, weather resistant receptacle and decor style. So if you have a bubble cover, you only have to use, you don't have to use any of those attachments that are used to configure whether or not you're using like a duplex receptacle in a GFCI. When you have the block weather resistant receptacle, well then you can put it right next to the GFCI and just use a regular cover plate or the weatherproof cover plate without any of those special attachments, making it nice and easy. Some more single receptacles. I got a surge protector receptacle here for when I need that for televisions or maybe a computer install, something like that. All right, down below there we have our M18 oscillating tool and some bits, a couple batteries, miscellaneous stuff mostly. Below here, some overflow. I have the 3-inch cutoff tool, a couple extra specialty switches, single receptacles, just overflow of the other receptacles. Now down here, again, I got some more room for additional stuff. Down below, this is where I keep all my M12 batteries. Here's where I keep all my M18 batteries. And I never seem to run out of batteries, even though I have a ton of them, so that's a good thing, right? Okay, so here I just have this cover plate on the top, the work surface, because I seem to have lunch there, or set up my phone to watch TV or whatever in between jobs, or maybe at lunch. Below that, the 3/4 inch PVC, which has my cutter in there and all the PVC 3/4 inch connectors and adapters and straps that I need. This next row down, I have all my liquid tight, flexible non-metallic conduit, connectors. Most of these are 3/4 inch, but some, as you can see, are 1 inch. I usually use 3/4 inch for most of my jobs. Right here I have some straps, some anchors. I have these Ideal style Wagos. I have one of these taps, which are expensive here. This is by Ilsco. And I have some flat Romex straps, which come in handy. This is for going through furniture. I think I have that for my own office. This is for the weatherproof, the PVC coated MC cable. That's what these connectors are for, if you ever see me using that before. It's kind of rare that I do, but they are there, all right? And you might say, well, why don't you use these for cutting in your services? Well, you're right, but this connector right here costs about $40. So if I needed 3 of them to cut in the service, that's an extra $120. All right, the next row down, you can see I have my 4-inch corrosion resistant screws. I have some sheetrock screws. I don't use these too often. These are 2.5-inch corrosion resistant core screws. I have a bunch of bits I keep in there. I probably could organize that a little bit better. This is where I keep my lag bolts for when doing services and attaching the meter and the meter main combos. I have some sheet metal screws and some other screws. I have some Spax lags. I have a couple bits. I have some wood screws and some more sheet metal screws in this drawer. I keep this by the side door here because I need to access it constantly. Double connectors, white button connectors, black button connectors, Wagos, MC connectors, 3/4 inch white Romex connectors, redheads, BX connectors, 3/4 inch non-metallic sheet conduit connectors. And then, of course, the bottom row here is all my EMT. So I have some LBs, some offset adapters, some 3/4 inch back here. I don't know what that's doing in there. I don't do too much 3/4 inch. Then we have some fancy offset LBs. Those are pretty good. I don't even know where I got those from. Straps, obviously, connectors. These are the from twos, where you go from conduit to a non-metallic sheath cable, or non-metallic sheath cable into conduit. And, of course, some couplings. Some offset nipples here. 1/2 inch, and of course chase nipples as well. All right, so there again, there's the battery that supplies the power to the lights up here. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. I got one more section to show you in the back, and let's go take care of that right now. Okay, so here in the back of the truck, very rarely do I wear this, but this is a Diamondback rig that I use occasionally. It's just so bulky, and to be honest with you, wearing this all day, I'd just be too tired wearing it. It doesn't weigh a lot of weight right now because there's hardly any tools in it, but I constantly need screws, connectors, wire nuts, drills, obviously lineman pliers, needle nose pliers, etc., etc. So I'll use this when I need to use it, but I don't use it as often as I wish. It is a real nice design, obviously. Behind here is a bunch of scrap. Obviously that number 4 green, that's for some grounding. Got a small piece of 2-inch PVC. I know there's blue handles for my 1/2 inch EMT bender and spare stuff like that. Underneath, obviously I showed you, that's where I keep my non-metallic sheath cable, the Romex wire. It's somewhat neat, but there's a lot of stuff going on here. I probably could stack it up here, this roll of blue wire, but the minute I accelerate, it'll probably fall back here anyhow, because I've done that before. Inside this bag here, this is a Vito CTXL bag. This is fantastic. This is like a big carrying case for a bunch of shit that you need to bring into the job, right? And that's exactly what it's doing in here. Obviously, you see it turns into a catch-all for tools, but when you want to clean up at the end of the day, this bag is fantastic. Here's a box of leftover Claro plates from a job I recently did. I got a 4-inch. I got the 4-foot Klein magnetic level. And the last thing we need, well, over here we have tape, circuit breakers again, a lot of stuff here, okay? It takes a lot to show up at your house with a truck full of tools to do a job. So that explains some of the pricing if you were curious, okay? On the top drawer here, this is all for service equipment. I have these new crimps that you've seen me using. This is Greenlee. Somebody asked me the model number. This is K111 Greenlee crimper. Okay, then I got my yellow Klein's ratchet cutters for large cables. I didn't even realize I had this in here. So it's a headband, some colored tape, obviously that old stripper, some duct seal, a couple of tape measures. Down below, here's my latest new tool. You guys will see this in the next service upgrade. This is actually the wire stripper for 4/0 aluminum and 2/0 copper, which I mostly use. All right, here's where I keep some of the labels that I need for labeling the circuit numbers. And then, of course, I have some T-handle hex heads. I have more of them in my garage. I have another pack out in my garage that has all the sizes, which I probably should just put in here by now. Down below here, more stuff. I have a stud finder. I have the, I forget what they call this thing. This is a probe. Gives off a sound. So you can trace wires. It works in conjunction with this piece here. I have some Milwaukee armored cable cutters. And some more drill bits here. Pencils. You guys always see me wearing these. All right, I put them around my neck. I got a bunch of them there. Then, of course, some safety glasses and some tape. This is all stuff that's easy to get to right in the back of the truck right here. And here's where I keep an overload of tools, specialty tools like this. I don't use this every day, but this is a nice pair of needle nose where I can strip the wires, tin snips, some more armored cable cutters. I do have this Knipex cutter. I don't see what the big deal about it is. And then, of course, a whole bunch of different screwdrivers. Here's a pipe cutter. I don't know where I would use that. This is a multi nut driver set from Klein, a few years old. So yeah, so that's about it. Right now it's pretty clean. Over here, I have this beautiful Vito high-vis bag full of tools. This is really nice. It's a backpack. I'll bring this in on service calls sometimes when I need a lot more tools than just a small amount. On top, we have the conduit rack from the old van. In fact, the whole rack is from the old van. I got a new extension ladder, 24-footer. I got an 8-footer I keep on top of there. And of course, I have these from Klein. So I think that should do it. I hope you enjoyed this video. You got something out of it. I usually keep my book bag for school up in the front. I keep a bag for my cameras up in front. I have a lot of additional tools I've learned in this tour. So maybe I should organize this better. But if you like this video, do me a favor, hit the like button, subscribe. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one. So I can't just leave you like that. I figured I'd show you my Atlas 46 carry bag. It's also a backpack. Keep all my camera stuff in there. It's fantastic, isn't it?